Hello everyone, this video is to help with homework 26, the last 3 questions, which is where you are working backwards. You're given the solutions and you need to write the quadratic equation that if you were to solve, you'd come up with those solutions. So I'm going to do number 13 and then number 14 will be basically just like it, and then I'll talk you through just a little bit of how to do problem number 15. So as a teacher, I do this all the time as I'm creating your assessments and such, working backwards to get the quadratic equation that I want. So this, okay, right here, solution set, okay, this is my solution, okay. What this means is I'm using x as my variable, that x is equal to -5, and that x is equal to 1/2. If I were to look at this parabola, whenever I get finished with it, I should have an x-intercept at -5 and an x-intercept at 1/2. So my goal is to work backwards and come up with the quadratic equation that I would type into Desmos in order to get those. So if you need to, go back and look at your other problems that you have solved step by step, and you're just going to be working backwards. So these are the solutions, which meant, thanks to the zero product property, that in order to get these solutions, okay, another word for these are zeros, we're going to solve these equation for 0. That means we're going to get the terms on the same side. So to move the -5 over, I would have to add 5 to both sides, and this would give me x plus 5 is equal to 0. And on this one, I have a -1/2, so I'm going to have, or I have a +1/2, I'm going to have to subtract 1/2 to move it over. And this is going to give me x minus 1/2 is equal to 0. All right, now, one thing it does say is write a quadratic equation in standard form with the smallest possible integer values, which means that if we're working with a fraction like this one is, we want to get rid of the fraction. Remember, a fraction bar means divide, so the opposite of divide is multiply. So if I'm going to get rid of a divide by 2, that means I'm going to have to multiply everything in this equation by 2. So that's going to give me 2x minus 1 is still equal to 0. All right, so that zero product property would say that in order for the product to equal 0, one of them or both would be equal to 0. Right now they're separated. What we're going to do is we're going to put them back together. So zero product, which means multiply. So I'm going to take x plus 5 times 2x minus 1 and set that equal to 0. And then last but not least, okay, right now it's given to me in factored form. I want to put it in standard form, which means I'm going to have to multiply this out. So FOIL, Punnett square, double distribution, whatever you call it, you're going to multiply. So x times 2x would give me 2x squared. X times -1 would give me -1x. Positive 5 times positive 2x would give me a positive 10x. And then 5 times -1 would give me a -5, and then don't lose the equals 0. Combining like terms, and I'm going to come up with my final answer of 2x squared, and then plus 9x, and then minus 5 is equal to 0. So here would be my answer, where my A is 2, my B is 9, my C is -5. These are my smallest integer values that I could have. Again, you can double check this work by typing this into Desmos. Don't put the equals 0, just put the 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. Type it into Desmos and see that those x-intercepts are at -5 and positive 1/2. So question number 14, you'll do just the same way as we did question number 13. Notice that one of the solutions is a fraction, so you'll have to do what I did and get rid of the fraction by multiplying in order to clear your fraction. Question number 15 is just slightly different. It says that the only solution, so in order for it to be an only solution, it means it's a double root. So that means that even though I only have it once, it means it has to actually be there twice. Remember, a quadratic has an exponent of 2, so that exponent of 2 tells you that there are going to be 2 solutions. So the only way that you can have one solution is if it's the same solution that's twice. So instead of just writing x equals 7 once, you're going to write x equals 7 twice. Then to move the 7 over, you'd have x minus 7 equals 0. You'd have x minus 7 equals 0. And then do the zero product property in reverse, and then get your quadratic from there. So that's the only difference with question number 15 compared to 13 and 14. Nice thing about question number 15 is you don't have any fractions to work with, so you already are going to be guaranteed those integer values. But that is how you work backwards, taking a solution and then coming up with a quadratic that would have those given solutions. So I hope that video helps. If not, please let me know.